This question is asking you to calculate the total sales mix variance and the quantity variance. And the information is given to you in two parts. They give you the budget and they give you the actual information. We budgeted to make this many units, 6,500 of the regular, 3,500 of the deluxe, and they give the profit margin for each one. Then they tell us the actual sales, 6,000 units of the regular, 3,000 units of the deluxe, and we have a different actual profit margin for each. To work out these sales variances, we can take a tabular approach. And what we can look at is if we were to take the actual mix of sales and then multiply these by the standard profit, you can then compare this to the standard mix, multiply that by the standard profit. And what you're effectively doing here is you're looking at what quantity did you sell of each one, and then if you'd stuck to the standard mix, how many should you have sold of each. So if we start putting the figures in, for regular sales, we actually sold 6,000 units, and for the deluxe, 3,000 units. The standard profit margin for each one is $7 for the regular and $12 for the deluxe. If you multiply these through, 6 times 7 gives 42,000. 3,000 times 12 is 36,000. And if you add this up, we get 78,000. And this is essentially telling you how much profit you should have made on the actual sales that you've sold. You then come down to the standard mix. And what we're going to look at here, we have sold in total 9,000. Now, if we'd stuck to the standard mix and we'd sold 9,000 in total, how many regular and how many deluxe should we have sold? And if we go back and look at the information given to us initially, the budget was 6,500 units of regular, 3,500 units of deluxe. And that is essentially 65% regular, 35% deluxe. So if we apply that ratio to our actual sales, and you do 9,000 in total times 65%, you get 5,850, and then 9,000 times 35%, you get 3,150. So if we'd stuck to the standard mix and sold them in that proportion, that's how many we would have sold of each. Multiply each one by the standard profit of 7 and 12. So 5,850 times 7, and we get 40,950. 3,150 times 12, and we get 37,800. And if you add these together, you get 78,750. The difference between these two figures here of 750, this is your sales mix variance. And what this is essentially saying, based on our actual mix, that's how much profit we made. We should have made that much profit, and as such, this is adverse. If we then go on to work out the quantity variance, we just need to bring in another line where we can actually look at the budgeted sales times the standard profit. Just tidy that up. So we budgeted to sell 6,500 of the regular, 3,500 of the deluxe. The profit margin is still 7 and 12. And if we multiply these through, 6,500 times 7 is 45,500. And for the deluxe, 3,500 times 12 is 42,000. And if you add these up, you get 87,500. And then the difference between the 78,750 above and the 87,500 here, a difference of 8,750. This is the quantity variance. And what this is saying is we actually sold 9,000. If you add up the budgeted sales, we should have sold 10. We've sold less than expected, therefore this is an adverse variance.